Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a fun get ready with me using my current favorite luxury beauty products. These are the ones that I have been reaching for the most this past month, and I thought you might want to see them in action, as well as kind of a follow-up on my thoughts on some of the products that I have reviewed. So if you are interested in seeing how I created this look using my favorite luxury beauty products, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we are going to do a full face of favorites, and I'm still in love with the #1 de Chanel, their revitalizing foundation. And this is the foundation that I have been reaching for the most for the past few months, which is huge since I own and try so many foundations. But I just really love the finish of this foundation, and I also think that the color match is great too. So I'm going to just buff this into the skin, and I have found that color matching is the key here, and that there's been a few foundations that I have been wanting to purchase but have been struggling with color matching, and I'm finding that if it's too much of a hassle and I'm trying too hard to make things work, that maybe that foundation is just not for me. Whereas in the Chanel foundations, I'm a pretty good match to BR32 throughout the year. In the winter, I can go BR22, or I have a few B30s thrown in the mix. But it's always nice to be able to go to a brand and be pretty consistent with your match within all of the different varieties of foundation. So my love for this foundation is still going strong. If you have yet to try it, I definitely recommend it. It feels fantastic on the skin. It's going to give you a healthy glow, but it's got a nice medium coverage, so it is also going to give you a bit of coverage, but not look super heavy on the skin. For eyes today, we are going to do a classic look using Tom Ford. This is the Smoky Quartz Eye Quad, and I have just fallen in love with this one. I love the cream formula. I ended up buying all 3 of the quads, and I do love all 3, but for a good basic everyday eye look, I highly recommend the Smoky Quartz. Actually, I'm going to start with this shade over here and put that in my crease, and I am using Wayne Goss number 16, and I'm just going to lightly create a shadow here. Again, super pigmentation. Okay, I created a little bit of depth and wash of color on the eyes, and then I'm going to go in with this shade right here and add a little bit of that on to the lid. Little taupey base there. And I'm coming into this shade over here. I'm just going to add a little bit of depth on the outer corner and bring this color as well underneath my lower lash line. I'm taking this Repper. This is number 26, and I just dipped it in this beautiful color here, and I just want to run a little bit of that shadow underneath the lash line, just a little bit. Create a little shadow underneath the eye, just to connect everything together. Okay, before I use the darker brown here to smoke out the upper lash line, I am going to take my chantecaille. This is the Luster Glide eyeliner in Slate, and I'm going to tightline the upper lash line to give a little definition to the lash line and a little contrast with this slate charcoal gray against the warmer tones of the smoky quartz. And then I'm leaving the bottom lower lash line just with that shadow liner today. So I'm going to go in with my darker tone here, and I'm using that BK Beauty. This is number 204. And now I'm going to come near the lash line and smoke out a little bit of that darker brown on that upper lash line. Just taking a fluffy brush here, and I'm just going to soften everything here. Okay, I am going to go clean up my brows, put on mascara, and then we will move on to the rest of the face. But I've just been loving the smoky quartz because it just creates a super simple and sophisticated smoky warm eye look. And I just love the wash of color on the eyes, and these shadows are so lovely because they do have that cream texture, and they just wear beautifully throughout the day. So it'll sort of mesh in with my eyes and look a bit more natural. I don't know exactly how they do it, but that's how I feel like those shadows work on my eyes. So let me go clean up my brows and put on mascara, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I have mascara, have cleaned up my brows, and now I'm going to use the Kosas. This is the Revealer Concealer, and I like to do my concealer after I put on my eyes, just in case there is any fallout, but there is not with these Tom Ford eye quads. They're very creamy in texture. And then I'm going to use my fingers, and I am going to spread out that concealer and brighten up underneath that under eye. For powder, I've still been loving my La Mer, the sheer pressed powder. I was late to the game on giving this a try, but I really do love this powder so much, and I just take a little bit and then I will set everything. And I think the reason I like it is because it really is sheer, and I can see that it sets everything, does not take away from the glow or whatever you have been trying to achieve with your makeup. And I just find that my makeup wears so much better throughout the day without looking flat or powdery. So just going to put a little bit of that pressed powder on. That's the other thing I'm finding. You don't need a lot, so although this is an expensive pressed powder, I foresee this lasting a long time for myself since I use minimal powder on my more dry, mature skin. And next we're going to warm up the skin with my favorite bronzer, and this is from Chantecaille Real Bronze. And yep, I just love this one, you guys. I just love the tone of it, and I have been pulling for this one lately, and I'm just going to warm up my skin with this bronzer. Isn't that a great color? This one has a little bit of a red cocoa tinge to it, and I just think it looks really nice on the skin. Okay, favorite blushes that I'm sort of surprised by, but many of you told me that I needed to pick up these Chanel, the Comet blush launch, and I was going to pass on these, and I'm really glad I didn't because they are so pretty on the skin. And yes, I do use both of them. So this one is very pale but so gorgeous on the skin. So this one is the Pesh Cosmic, and then we've got the Coral Tone, and that one is the Coral Etoile, and this one looks bright, and this one looks bright in the pan. You do need to use a lighter hand when you are putting it on. Again, learned the hard way, but when you put these on, it is going to give your complexion such a lift. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the darker one on. And I also thought these went with my sweater today, having a little fun with some spring colors. Orange and pink is back in. I love that combination. And I just recently picked up this sweater from, Scotch and Soda. When I was in LA, I was able to go into the store, and they had the cutest outfit. It had pink pants and blazer and the striped sweater, and I just thought it was so cute. Unfortunately, the pants were way too long, but I just love the entire look. So we are channeling a little bit of spring today with these orange and pink tones. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this blush, which I kind of feel like is a highlighter, and then I will put that on top and just see how that added the most pretty little finish on the skin. So pretty. And then what I like to do is I'll take a little bit of this peach, and it's got a little bit of illumination in it, and I will add just a little bit of that on my eye look, just like that, and it adds a little bit of sparkle, not too much, but a little bit of lightness right there. And then I'll put a little bit up in that brow bone, using it sort of like highlight. Then for lips, I pulled out the Sisley Vito Shine lipstick, and I love it in shade 11, which is Sheer Blossom. I also love Sheer Petal. Either one of these will go with this look, and these really are fantastic. just provides such a pretty glossy lip look. But as I said the other day, they also grip the lips so they're not too slippery. And I do feel like they do something special to my lips, like they fill in the lines or things like that, because I feel like it gives my lips a bit more impact. These are a dream to wear, and they actually stay on your lips longer than you think for a lipstick that is super shiny. Those are typically not super long lasting, but they feel fabulous on your lips. Now I am going to end with my little glow maker because that's just what I do. So I'm going to take my Sisley bronzer. I've got my La Mer fluffy brush, and I'm just going to dip a little bit in here. We're going to give myself a little glow here, and I partly like to do this as well because I feel like it helps blend in and make sure I don't have any sharp edges on my makeup. So I'm just gonna buff that on just a bit. And then we'll top everything off with my little chantecaille rose water just to finish everything. And this is going to be the final look of the day using all my favorite luxury beauty products of the moment. And then we'll end with fragrance of the day, of course. And I'm having a hard time deciding what to wear today. I'm channeling a little bit of pink and girly. So let me think about this for 1 second. Okay, I just went and pulled kind of my 3 girly scents, and the winners are either Guerlain Rose Cherie. I love this one. This one reminds me of a really pretty lingerie drawer. It is slightly powdery. There is some beautiful rose in here. Very feminine, very gorgeous. So that one might be the pick. I'm also still obsessing over the Rose d'Amalfi by Tom Ford. I used this the other day in a video, but you guys, I'm still loving this. This is just a really easy wear. It is pretty, it is feminine, it is slightly fluffy and marshmallowy and gives me spring vibes that I'm craving desperately right now. We're having some sort of atmospheric river weather action here, so we are actually getting a lot of rain, and it's been a little doom and gloom, so I have been leaning on these more spring kind of scents. And then we have the beautiful Roja Elixir. This to me is just another pretty in pink fragrance. It is slightly fruity, it is slightly floral. It reminds me of a very pretty feminine woman. It's also easy to wear. This has got a bit of peach in here, and I find that this is a sophisticated fruity floral, so it's not too girly. It's definitely going to have that sophisticated feel, but it also has that fun fruity floral mix that is in a lot of younger, more popular fragrances. But of course, Roja does it well, adds on his sophisticated touch, and so I think that's the one that I'm going to wear today. This smells incredible. Perfect pick for the day. Okay guys, I am ready for the day ahead. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with another one soon.